Kitsap County Commissioners are very interested in workforce development. We are able to participate on a region-wide basis in terms of workforce development and job discussions. We are on the Olympic Consortium with commissioners from Clallam and Jefferson County, and we work directly with the Olympic Workforce Development Council, which is made up of business, educators, and labor throughout those 3 counties as well. In addition, we oversee the WorkSource Center here in Bremerton, which provides job training, job counseling, and job placement for job seekers as well as employers. And the recent Workforce Innovation and Opportunities Act extends our purpose beyond the original enacting legislation. And the one difference seems to be mostly that they are looking for additional internships and apprenticeships. And we do have some of those opportunities already in Kitsap County. We hope to be able to talk a little bit about that today. I'd like to introduce representatives from some of the companies that we have here in Kitsap County, some very fine businesses that hire great jobs. Carissa Sennett is with Watson Furniture, which is in Paulsbo, and they incorporate what they call practical environmentalism as they create innovative and ergonomic furniture. I'd like to welcome you today, Carissa, and note that every company that we're talking to strives for quality in all that you do. You value your employees and their work, you provide education and training for those employees, and you measure your success in the marketplace. But I'd like to ask you just a few questions, if you don't mind telling us a little bit about Watson Furniture and what the company does, how long it's been in business.
Well, Watson started in 1950 by Graham Watson. It was a small family-owned business on Bainbridge Island. Our current ownership bought it in 1991, and we expanded. In 2001, we moved to our facility in Paulsbo. We manufacture desk and storage for commercial office. We also do consoles for emergency communication centers as well.
And you specialize in some ergonomics as well.
We do. So we take the European theory. We believe that sitting down is not necessarily the best thing while you're at work for 8 hours. So we design furniture that can stand with you. You can get up and move around, but then sit back down.
Great. Well, I've had the pleasure of touring Watson, so I appreciate those kinds of designs. So tell me a little bit about the mission or the principles of Watson Furniture.
So we don't necessarily have a mission statement per se. We have a purpose. So we're builders. We create jobs and careers by building products that excite us and others are pleased to buy. We do this in a manner in which our parents and our children will be proud. So part of that practical environmentalism is leaving things better than when we got them. Mm-hmm. We don't necessarily say, hey, we need to do everything with corkboard or whatever. It doesn't make sense. It's using those practical things to make things better. So for instance, we have a briquetter. So all the sawdust in our facility is vacuumed up. We make briquettes of it, and then we sell it to the local boilers for the pulp mill in Port Townsend.
Oh,
and they
that's
use
great.
it for fuel.
So actually I've noticed how very, very clean your workspaces are.
It is. It's one of those, I've worked in a few different manufacturing places, and we go through so much, we do so much there, and as you walk around, it's one of the cleanest places I've worked.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about the work your employees do and how, what the expectations and the training are. What is kind of maybe one of the major jobs of interest, and what kind of training or background does someone have to be able to attain that job?
So we don't require any previous experience. Yes, there are some jobs that obviously working in admin or accounting or whatever upstairs you'd need college degree and maybe a little experience. Those people down on the production floor, if you have a willingness to work and a desire to stay in Kitsap County, we're always willing to have you come out. I'd say our biggest focus would be those people in the metal shop, whether it's our welders or our CNC operators. Those are kind of the positions that we really look for. We have job posted up all the time. If you're Kitsap County and you have any experience with CNC, you have any experience with welding, and you want to stay in the area, come see us.
Well, there's an invitation. Does the company then, if willingness to work is the only requirement, what kind of on-the-job training, internship, apprenticeship opportunities might exist at Watson?
So generally people start in a pretty easy position on the production floor, whether it's a cleaning or maybe working in our finished department. But then if you show that drive and that desire to work, you can ask, hey, you know what, maybe I want to learn how to powder coat.
Tell me what powder coat is. So
we have a metal shop. On top of welding, we also do powder coating, so we'll paint all of our own furniture. It's a multi-oven machine. So it'll actually go through, it'll steam clean all the metal once it's welded and ground down. Then it goes through a paint, powder coat, spray, and then it goes through another couple of ovens. So we need that powder coat sprayer in there to spray the furniture as it goes through. And like I said, it's not the most glamorous job, but it's pretty fun.
Well, great. So if you say that you always have jobs posted, you're currently hiring then?
We are. I'm looking for some admin positions on top, but we're always looking for CNC maintenance techs. That's one position that's a little bit difficult to find here in Kitsap County. A lot of people that have CNC maintenance experience tend to go on the east side of the water.
Mm-hmm.
And downstairs I'm also looking for an industrial designer, so someone who could help us facilitate that quality assurance program that we have. So.
Great. So is there additional training that you offer or that some employees might avail themselves of?
So for instance, a CNC maintenance position, yes, I'm looking for someone with experience, but if you have maintenance tech experience and you've worked with some CNC, we can always train you to work on the machines that we have. So just that little bit of previous experience in whether it's electrical or machining,
mm-hmm.
then we can do the on-the-job training there.
Well, that's pretty very open door, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. So tell me a little. I've had the opportunity to observe on the floor activities. It looks to me like people love their job. They're intent on doing a good job, but they actually have some fun doing it. Is that so?
It is. We pride ourselves in having a good product go out the door. We don't have a necessarily quality program, but our workers take great pride in what they do there. When we send a shipment off, whether it's to Boeing, Starbucks, wherever, they can look at that and say, you know what, I had a part in that, and this is what I did, and they want to make sure people know that.
Well, thank you. I admire Watson Furniture. I think it is a quality product. I also think that the workplace is a quality place to be, and it's surrounded even by natural beauty outside the building where one could take a leisurely walk at lunchtime and get your exercise in addition to your ergonomic furniture.
We do. We have a 1 kilometer walking trail outside, and it's encouraged when people maybe they're stuck looking at a design and they don't know what to do next. Take a break, go outside, go for a 1 kilometer walk, go for a 2 kilometer walk. Come back refreshed.
Great. Carissa, thank you so much for talking to us today. I just can't tell you how much I appreciate you being here today.
Thanks so much.
I'd like to introduce Annette Crawford, who's administrator for Stafford Healthcare that has several Kitsap locations. And Stafford at Ridgemont calls Port Orchard home and provides valuable care for seniors in Kitsap County. Annette, would you like to tell us a little bit about your company? We know that, as we noted with Watson, that we have some quality employers in Kitsap County who care about their employees and provide a great place to work. So would you mind telling us just a little bit about Stafford and what the company does and how long it's been in business, and maybe a little about the mission and principles?
Sure. Ridgemont was actually built in 1971, so people
Really?
that have lived in Kitsap County for a long time will know it as Ridgemont Terrace. We also have an assisted living location that's just a couple blocks down Pottery, Stafford Suites. That facility is about 14 years old, and we actually have another location in Bremerton. And so we're now the Stafford Healthcare family because of our branding. So we have Belmont in Bremerton and the Stafford Suites in Port Orchard, and then Ridgemont is the skilled facility in Port Orchard. So between all three of our facilities, we offer the full continuum of care. So on the Port Orchard campus, on my campus, we have an independent retirement apartment, 46 units. And we also have our long-term care unit where people would stay, residents will live their lifetime for skilled nursing. We also have a very short-term transitional care unit that's about 30 beds, and that's post-acute services. So people coming from the hospital that have had an incident or have a new diagnosis, and we do rehab, skilled nursing, wound care, IV therapy, pretty skilled services, and it's for short-term for people that want to return when they can return home or to assisted living. And then we also have the skilled facility in Bremerton. So it's nice because we can have people that are living, maybe the spouse lives at the independent retirement apartment and the other spouse lives at the nursing home, and they can visit each other and have meals together, and so it works out really great having the different levels of care.
Wow, with that many buildings, how many employees do you have?
On the Port Orchard campus, we have over 160. We run between 160, 180 on a payroll. Stafford Suites is assisted living, so they have a little bit smaller payroll, but then the Bremerton facility has about the same as ours.
So let's talk a little bit more about your employees, since we're talking about workforce development. What kinds of requirements do you have? What's a common position that you are recruiting for?
Well, of course, we have nursing. That is our primary service to our patients is nursing, and so we do employ registered nurses, licensed practical nurses. We have a nurse practitioner that we employ, but we also need nursing assistants, and that's probably the one position that we recruit for and we hire for the most, basically because it is a career ladder position. It requires certification, so the individual goes through a course, usually a 4 or 5 week course. They become certified. They take a state exam, which is nice because you have a state license to be a certified nursing assistant. And that's really one of the positions that's very nice for people to get into, that maybe they've been employed in the past, but they've been homemakers for a while. Maybe they're just coming out of school and they're not quite sure what they want to do, but they want to do something in healthcare. It's a great position to start at.
And so do you require them to come in with prior experience and prior training? Can they get that on the job?
There are requirements and regulations as far as being certified, but what we do is try to facilitate that. So we work very closely with a private certification company that's in Port Orchard, and we will actually, and we're recruiting right now, so we have an ad out right now, and we start a new class on January 19th, and what we do is we interview, we do the background check, we decide this is a person that we want on our team, and then we work with the class and we prepay that for the individual. A certification class can be anywhere from, say, $900 to up to a couple $1,000s for an individual that wants to go through the training. So that's something that as an employer we will do with an agreement that you work for us for a year afterwards, and it's a great way for people to get certification.
Wow, so you actually will prepay somebody's education to be able to be certified to work for you.
And we ask that they stay with us for a year. Of course, we screen them. It takes a heart for caregiving.
Yes.
And so we give them a little bit of that time at the facility to maybe job shadow. We do interview, make sure that they're qualified as far as their background check and everything. And most people will know after a few hours of being in the healthcare setting if that's something that they desire to pursue. And a lot of the kids coming out of school can't necessarily get into nursing school. It's not always easy to get in, or they don't have the prerequisite requirements. And so this is a great way for them to get points in order to get to the RN program, and a great way to get involved with healthcare.
Yeah, so they engage and learn their level of interest in healthcare and begin at a position that can build. Yeah,
I actually can count on my hands how many nurses we have working at Ridgemont that were actually certified nursing assistants and then went through an RN program, and they're now nurses on the floor. Actually, my staff development coordinator, who is in charge of all of the education for the nursing department, started off and she was a nursing assistant at our facility. So
I'm hearing that there is the opportunity to step in, learn the job, and then grow in the job over a period of years. That's wonderful.
We have a reimbursement program. So for individuals that have shown that they're, they really are a committed employee and they've done a great job, then we do some reimbursement for their nursing school to help them get through that. So you get good grades, you get 100% reimbursement kind of thing, and we help to pay off the loans.
That's great.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's really wonderful. But I heard that you say you are currently hiring
Yes,
for
we
the
are.
certified nursing assistant position. Could you tell us just a little bit about what a certified nursing assistant would do in a normal day?
Well, basically you're helping residents with their activities of daily living. So our facility has two different models really. In our short-term acute area, it's really a medical model, and we're there to assist people to rehab back home. Maybe we're dealing with pain management, those sorts of things. So it's a real medical model in that unit. On the long-term care unit, it's more of a social model. So it's really our focus is, how can we help our residents to have quality during their day? How can we improve their life and help them to stay as healthy as possible? It's a more long-term relationship with the patient. So you kind of can have an experience in both areas as you go through clinicals and you find out what you want. But it's really up to the caregiver what they prefer.
Great. Well, sounds like a great opportunity for anyone who's interested and wants to be learning as they're getting engaged into a career in healthcare. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you taking the time to explain this to us. We will be posting additional information at the end of the program about the training that's available.
Great.
And even the income level that someone would be expecting on this particular position. So thank you for the work that you do.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back to Commissioner's Corner. I'm Commissioner Charlotte Garrido. I'm here with Dennis Morris at Safe Boats, and thank you so much for inviting us out here to see some action right here in the workplace.
You're quite welcome. It's our pleasure to have you. Thank you.
Thanks. And we want to know a little bit more about your company. How long has it existed, and maybe a little bit about the principles and missions that drive what you do.
Sure. Well, the company's been around for almost 20 years. It was really kind of formed in its current configuration around 1996. And we've been here in this site for many, many years along that same time frame as well. This company is really well known for making aluminum-hulled, high-performance boats that are used by defense, security, and first responder customers, both here in the States and internationally. And it's a fantastic product, and we're really very proud of it. And we owe that all in a lot to the team members and the workforce that we have here. Some of the things that we ascribe to, because of the nature of the work we do, our mission really is focused around our customer and the users of our products. So our mission is to be that global leader in providing the most reliable and effective boat platform systems that really allow our, like I said, defense, security, and first responder customers to complete their missions and, most importantly, come home safely. So that's kind of a key to what we're doing. And along with that, we're a very principles, values-driven organization, and it's very, very important to us. So we have our values, first of all, being integrity, being accountable to our team members, our customers, and our shareholders. We are very customer-focused. It's a very key factor of what we do. The other thing is one team working together. It's sometimes easier said than done, but it's very important that we think that way, and then continuously improving everything we do. And that's a key challenge for us and a focus for us. But also being good stewards, both stewards here and with our customers and globally.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit about the employees that you hire? What kinds of skills do they need, and what kinds of jobs do you hire into?
Safe Boats, being because of the nature it is, our product, as you can see out here, it's a very highly engineered, highly technical product. As I said, it's aluminum hulled, so we hire a broad range of both professional and skilled labor across the board. So we have everything from business development, accounting, sales, procurement, and engineering. So we have a lot of very professional skills, but also, and probably most important to the day-to-day job that we do around here, is the skilled workforce that we use. So we have everybody from skilled machinists to welding, and again, highly skilled welding, particularly focused around the marine industry because there's unique requirements to go along with that. And then electricians and folks who do a lot of the rigging and production of our boats. And then on the back end of that, we have a broad range of people, from boat drivers who actually test and train on our products, as well as customer support and warranty and training people to kind of provide work with our customers on the back end. So as you can see, it's a real broad, diverse workforce that we have here at Safecoats.
So are you hiring now?
We actually are hiring. Right now, this has been kind of we're on a real big upswing right now, and we're actually challenged in our hiring, but we have a real demand for our skilled workforce right now. Welding team members to do our integration, which are outfitting the electronics of our boats, as well as some of our skilled machinists. And we're also doing some hiring in business development and engineering at the same time. We've done some recent good hires here recently in the area of health and safety, as well as quality assurance. So we're in that process as well. So kind of upgrade and really evolve the company long term.
So you talk about needing welders, for example.
Yes.
What kind of skills and training does somebody coming into welding need? And is there some internship or apprenticeship opportunities?
It kind of covers the waterfront, if you will. We actually do entry-level hiring for welders, so we actually have partnerships with some of the trade schools and colleges in the area, Olympic College being one. So we have had a long-standing partnership with them, so we do work with them to get that entry-level team members here, so they have that basic skill set. But we also do hire highly skilled, tenured people to come in and do the work. So people who have a lot of experience in the marine industry and in highly complex system welding. So, they say aluminum welding is a unique skill and something that takes a lot of years to get really good at. Internally, we do have training programs. Like I said, we do have the broad scope of new hires. So we have that try to keep that balance. And so we do have that training programs to get certain people up to speeds, and we have sort of the skill sets as you progress through your tenure and experience here at the company. We're looking actually at apprenticeship programs, and that's something we're trying to figure out. We're really looking at putting those in place here in the coming months, and so we're exploring how best to accomplish that, given the fact that honestly finding some of these skilled labor workforce members is a real challenge for us. So how do we get the right training programs and skill sets built into the people who are working with us here?
Sure. Well, there may be some opportunities to learn from others who are doing
Absolutely.
that. So you say that there is training on the job. Do you have a classroom, or do you?
We're actually, again, one of those areas of investment that we're actually doing this year is in improving our training programs that we have for our workforce. Again, across the board. So yes, we do have training, and we do have a classroom. Now our classroom is really for customer and certain product test training, but we actually use that on occasion for our internal teammates. But a lot of the training is really on-the-job training, because it really is how do you actually do it. So taking a very experienced, skilled person and helping them train a junior, less experienced person how to do it right. And what we're trying to do, though, along that lines, is creating those work standards so that one team member to the next is actually doing the same kind of job. So it's not just about what an individual knows, but it's setting the right standard for the company.
So you talked about teamwork being one of your principles. How do you help promote that?
A number of different ways. One of our team challenges here, as you can see, we got team members that work in various aspects from different departments. We try regularly to get people to come together. So on a quarterly basis, we will get team members together to have sort of a kind of a fun function where we kind of give them an update on the organization and have a time, recognize people who've been here for 5 and 10 years, and have it kind of be a fun time as well, as I said, giving updates on the company. The other thing we're actually going to be reinstituting that we did from before is we're going to have sort of monthly barbecues that are just simple, just a chance for people to get together and just socialize together, and have a different department sponsor it each month. So one time the executives, next time will be the welders, and one time it'll be the finance team that'll be out doing that, just to kind of help build that teamwork among the organization.
Well, that's great. I've actually had the opportunity to be and see one of those.
Right.
So it is a great team builder. It's wonderful to see people develop camaraderie at lunchtime as well as on the job as they're learning and passing on the skills that they have. So thank you, Dennis, so much for having us here today and for letting us see some of the actual on-the-ground work that Safeboats does.
It's our pleasure. Welcome anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carissa, Annette, and Dennis, for chatting with us today, for telling us about your companies, and for showing us around your workplaces. We learned a lot and so appreciate your commitment to supporting our local economy, providing quality service, and bringing jobs to Kitsap County citizens. And thank you for joining us today. I'm Charlotte Garrido, and see you next time as we learn from Puget Sound Naval Shipyard about their apprenticeship program.